Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. Women and giving until it hurts. Full disclosure, when I was in my graduate program, my goal and mission was to use my talents to give back to my community. Specifically, I wanted to strengthen my community and put it in a position to achieve the same kind of success I saw other communities achieve. For the life of me, I could not understand why we always had so much less and always found ourselves with the short end of the proverbial stick, as it concerned certain economic and societal standards and measures of success. I had grown up seeing so many talented people and had not seen these people take their talents to the levels I knew they could and should have. I wanted to change that. I wanted to fix that. And being the driven, no nonsense, take no prisoners, afraid of nothing, go-getter, ball buster that I was, I knew I was the woman for the job. I had this advisor. I will call him Dr. D. Dr. D was a well-regarded, highly esteemed professional that was in charge of not just me, but everyone else in my training program. He had thrown program participants some of the hardest questions during our interview to get into the program, and although I initially thought him to be sweet, he soon became someone I regarded as a thorn in my side. In addition to always challenging my strong Black woman persona, he used to also challenge my beliefs. Specifically, he wanted to know why I was going to be taking my quote-unquote considerable talents to quote-unquote low-income communities. Yes, he would straight up ask me that. He would ask how these communities would be able to afford me and how I would be able to afford to lower my rates enough to serve them. So, being a headstrong young woman, I naturally thought he was the devil, to not realize the necessity of placing value in low-income communities. I would assert to him that I was going to make a difference in communities of color and or disenfranchised communities in such and such a way. And he would ask me, well, how are you going to get paid to do that? And the day he asked me if I could serve low-income or otherwise disenfranchised and underrepresented people in an affluent area, I legit thought he had lost his mind and was simply out of touch and unaware of the world around him and the people outside of his seemingly privileged bubble. I mean, obviously, the terms low-income and affluent don't mesh. Like, where did he think I would find low-income people in an affluent area? This poor man, I thought. This poor, selfish, delusional man. I was young and naive. I couldn't be bothered to worry about things like getting paid for my services. I had people to rescue, communities to attend to. Who could be bothered by concepts like groceries, bills, and providing for a family I didn't even have yet? As I said, I thought this man was delusional, but also greedy and mostly sad. I thought he was lost and uninspired, and not the kind of person I would want on my side, being as he was only seemingly motivated by money. So I ignored his advice and financially focused urgings and successfully finished my studies and entered the workforce, where I gave everything I had to everyone I came into contact with. And it was successful for all intents and purposes. I helped a 17-year-old who'd already had 3 children finish high school and enroll in college when it had never been her plan to do either. She had given up on herself, as had everyone in her family. They expected nothing more of her than to be a baby-making machine, and she was well on her way to delivering on their expectations. But now, today, she is an RN and hasn't had any additional children. She is wildly successful and has changed the entire dynamic of her family. Although she was the first to go to college, she won't be the last, as she is teaching her children to strive for better and is also saving for their eventual educations as well. I helped a woman who had escaped a domestic violence situation obtain housing for herself and her children, and then put her existing skill set to work to provide a life for herself that she and her family could be proud of. Today, she is the owner of a string of successful daycare facilities and is a far cry from the woman she used to be. Long gone are the days where she was totally dependent on another for her safety and survival. Now she employs others. These are just a couple stories out of thousands that demonstrate the impact I've had on others, and I was so grateful. I was blessed and humbled and inspired in all the things I thought I would be. What I wasn't was well paid. Now, I was paid enough to pay my bills and live comfortably, but the amount I was paid was not commensurate with the experience I brought to the table, nor the impact I was having on the lives of those around me. And guess what? I was A-okay with that. I thought that what I had was what I was supposed to have. I didn't think I needed anything more than having enough. After all, money is the root of all evil, and God provides for me and takes care of my every need, and money isn't everything. And every other quippy quote that sounds good that you can think of is what I said and believed. And, for the most part, all are true. But there is another side to that. And that side is the cruel fact that women are often underpaid and undervalued and more than willing to give until it hurts, with little to no expectation for a return on their time and energy. I had to learn to change that. I had never thought of money much. I always had all I needed and have never been money focused. But in my former career as a salaried employee, it was not uncommon for me to work 12-plus-hour days, even though I was contractually obligated to work only 40 hours a week. It was not uncommon for me to take calls on a Saturday or even a Sunday, particularly when there was someone in need. I was giving back and was overjoyed to be making a difference. But because I wasn't putting a premium on my time, others were equally overjoyed to take as much of it as they needed. I was working and volunteering and mentoring and giving until it hurt, and I was grateful for the privilege to do so. This made me a good person, but if I'd have kept it up, it also would have made me a burnt out and unhealthy person. People will always be willing to spend your time, money, and energy if you allow it, and women are all too eager to allow it. We have been conditioned to nurture and help and care for others, even to our own demise. It must stop. As time goes on, and if you all are interested, I will tell you guys how I broke out of the take care of everything and everyone for pennies on the dollar rat race. It took an intentional mindset shift and a goal resetting that I couldn't have done as long as I was still martyring myself to be everyone's superhero. Yes, I enjoyed every square second of what I was doing and the lives I impacted. But a funny thing happened. When I realized my potential and put a value on my time, talent, and energy, I not only got paid well for them, but I was also able to help more people with them as a result. My decision to stop giving until it hurt actually allowed me to give more, including to myself and to my family. And I can do that without burning myself out and giving so much of myself away that I don't have enough left for me and those I love around me. This is a curse many women deal with. And although us giving of ourselves so selflessly and often without regard is a great blessing to our communities, it is often at the cost of our health, well-being, peace, and vitality. I hope you guys will join me on a journey of rediscovery as we revisit the idea of not giving until it hurts and of putting a value on our time, energy, and efforts. It will be a hard shift for many of us, but a worthy shift nonetheless. It has made the difference in the lives of my family and will do the same for your families too. I didn't know it at the time, but Dr. D, who has since passed away, was absolutely right. He was trying to get me to see, value, and respect my time and talent before I was ready to, or before I saw the usefulness in doing so. I was too bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to accept his wisdom. And now that I have, It has made my life richer than I could have ever imagined. At the end of the day, and at the beginning too, I am still that woman who wants to give back to my community and to all those I can positively affect. And I hope you guys will join me. All right, y'all. That's it, and that's all. Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. If you don't, or if you believe in groupthink or bullying others into believing the popular opinion, then this isn't the place for you. So go ahead and just cancel me now. On this channel, we don't discuss my truth or your truth. We discuss the truth, and no topic is off limits. So, log in, like, subscribe, get comfy, and comment. It's nice to have you here. So let's talk.